What's up everyone? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Alucard's Dracula Part 2 of his build progress. And this is the final part. I have really enjoyed this build. Do not forget this is NG plus 7, level 150 build. I will of course go over the stats and the spells and all the little details in the build guide itself, which should be coming out pretty soon. And all I can say for now is just look what I am doing to Wolfboy here. I don't even know the fight. This is probably the second or third time I fight him out of like the dozen times that I've been in the game so far. So I definitely do not remember this fight. Even then, performing pretty well. He is barely being a threat, and you can see your blood tax is very useful here. It does pretty good damage, and I'll take care of him now. The next big boy we have here is Estelle, Natural Born of the Void, which is the weaker version of the other Estelle. Does less damage, I guess, less health, and like I think is like missing one move from the moveset. Otherwise, they're pretty much identical, I believe, unless there's something else that I don't know about. So, it's an interesting fight. It can be tough, but he's not the toughest boss or anything even remotely close to it, unless it's your first time fighting it. It can get annoying, however, especially if you're using a melee build. But it can also be fun and interesting. So, it really does depend on the build. As you can see here, just depending on our blood tax, some rock slings there will get us pretty much what we need. We're gonna I will be trying to like go for a stance break soon enough. And if you use rock sling in combination with blood tax, Rancor Call, but you have to use Rancor Call first, I would say. Now, this is something that you're not going to use a lot, and you're going to use like usually against the dragons, flying creatures, like this one that just, floaty creatures, they're just like floating around, they fly around and do weird stuff. That's when you use Rock Sling and stuff like that to break their stance. So, you can see as we're talking about, being stance broken and all that, Estelle gets stance broken right there before our very eyes, and then gets annihilated with Ancient Dragon Lightning Strike. Here I abuse this incantation. It is a very, very powerful incantation, and I would recommend having it on all your builds that have 26 faith, I believe. So like most builds have Golden Bow. Golden Bow is at 25, so you just need to put one more point into faith, and there you go. You can have access to one of the most powerful incantations in the entire game. Help you delete a lot of enemies, not just dragons. Even smaller enemies sometimes are weak to lightning, or if they are standing really close to you when you cast it, it does pretty massive damage. And this is having my faith at 30 here, NG plus 7. This is truly an incredible incantation, and is to me probably the most powerful incantation. Like mana, the FP cost is pretty moderate. You do get an end game. The faith investment is pretty low, and it's just so useful in so many different situations. AoE damage as well. It just melts creatures, and you do not even have to have lots of faith. Again, I don't know if there's a spell that resembles this power, or when it comes to like FP costs and all that, and the Department of Sorceries. I don't know. I mean, they do have like one or two overpower spells, like Meteorite of Estelle and Comet Azar or Azure or whatever you want, however you want to pronounce it. And so that I guess makes up for it, but still, incantations generally speaking are much more interesting, and you usually have access to some of them because you buff yourself using, you know, Black Flame's Protection, Golden Vow, Flame Granting Strength. There's so many buffs that you can get, that you can use when you invest into Faith versus sorceries, which you don't really get anything useful there. Comparison when it comes to buffs, of course. Anyways, guys, this is not what this is about. This is about Alucard right here, just deleting enemies left and right. And I have enjoyed this build. As you can see, this is the armor set that I'm talking to you about, guys. Malekith's armor set, of course, just the greaves and the gloves. And then I'm going for, or you want to call them gauntlets, whatever. And the Knight's Cavalry armor set as well. So, and that's it, no headpieces, you can see. And I believe that Alucard is more of a dexterity type of character slash build. It's not a strength build. He's not a sorcerer. You know, he uses some spells, yes, but he mainly, even in the game Castlevania Symphony of the Night itself, does depend on his melee attacks mainly to defeat his enemies. And you know, you do get some summons in that game and stuff, but like just to keep the game more interesting, I didn't use any summons. But if you really want to use some, there are like one or two that resemble some of the summons that he gets there. And actually, it's part of the reason I use Glintblade Phalanx, because of that. He summons a sword down there that, you know, hovers around him, protects him, attacks whoever gets close to him, and all of that. So that's like the closest thing that I could think of that resembles that. And other than that, don't forget most enemies here do bleed, so blood loss is very OP in this game. There are only like a few bosses, and like all the main bosses, I believe, somewhere from blood loss except for Radagon and the Elden Beast. So yeah, don't forget that. You can depend on your blood loss here quite a lot. And here, honestly, after defeating these two ads that he has here, I decided to cheese him. I kind of just wanted to get it over with and go to Melania, because I had like a long journey ahead before I get to her, and like another boss fight, Loretta and all that. So I kind of just decided to cheese him. Alright. Using Swarm of Flies, and here whenever like he goes into this recovery mode, I do go for my blood tax. But other than that, it was Swarm of Flies, and this is what I show you, just Swarm of Flies on his ass the entire time, inflicting blood loss and pretty much carrying me through this battle. However, I don't do this, I don't cheese any of the main bosses. I only do this with him because I was like in a rush. I just wanted to get it over with. I don't want to sit here and like have multiple attempts. Anyways, and as always, guys, this is the end of the video, so thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll catch you all in the next episode. Take care, have a great day, and peace.